What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. Hopefully good. Hey, good evening. Good evening, John. Good evening, John Polly. John Polly. Make sure you guys hit the like button as you guys are coming in. Looks like there's 9 of y'all already in here. 11. Keep hitting the like. 12. 13. I'm seeing the numbers, so you guys might as well hit the like. Hit the like as you come in. 15. From northern Arizona. That's where allegedly the guy who started the wildfires up here, he was from Arizona. I don't know if it was northern, but Arizona. I think Phoenix, actually. Wasn't it Phoenix? Crazy story. Crazy story about that. 20 of y'all, hit that like. Hit the like, you guys. Hit the like. Hit the like. I don't really have anything planned. I mean, kind of, somewhat, sort of, a little bit, but nothing like, like a show. I guess just really talk about the stuff that's been going on with the wildfires up here. I mean, that's where a lot of my focus has been. Even during the day, I've been streaming the Lindsay Clancy trial, and I haven't even been home while that's been on. I've been out in the field trying to report and get stuff. Can't really live stream a lot because, I mean, I could, but I've been with people. That's one thing. I've been with people who've been driving. And then the other part of it, some of it has to do with it's just driving and live streaming until I can get out. So it's not really like stationary or something going on like that. So that's why I haven't really been live streaming. It's just more been, getting footage and trying to capture footage and things like that. Which most of it has been on X, to be honest with you guys. So that's probably a little bit of reason. X and Facebook. So for you YouTube folks, you guys have been missing out on stuff I've been getting. So I thought maybe tonight I might play a lot of the videos that I've been posting on X. So, good evening, brother Corey. Good evening. Good to see you. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Thanks for speaking, Daniel. Hello. You're welcome. 37. Let's keep the numbers going up. So there is also some footage that I haven't posted because it's on I don't know, just haven't posted it. I should. Kind of when this stuff all started, which is it started on Saturday. It was past Saturday. Also, you guys make sure real quick, I do have my donation links pinned on Facebook and YouTube. It does help for things like even like this, even things that are local, things that are not local. Gas, if I had to go out of town, a car, hotel, airfare, food, and I'm in town, is like just gas and getting places, doing stuff like that. So it does help. The donations do help no matter what it is. And there's PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, Give, Send, Go. And I can't do this stuff without you guys, without the help, without, the considerations and people sponsoring or whatever. So, and there's things coming up later on in August, September, 9/11. Like to get back there. I know there's going to be some things planned. 25th anniversary, you guys, 9/11. Wow, 25 years. 25 years. Wow. I think I was at the 20th. We were back there because that was during COVID. There was a few of us back there, and Villain was with me. I think that was 5 years ago, 2020. First time ever to New York was that. It was weird because it was COVID, so subways were, and I was with a group of people. If I go for 2020 for the 25-year anniversary, I'm gonna be by myself. Um, so yeah, steak and lobster is not cheap. No, it's not even steak and lobster, to be honest with you, Wolfie. It's just let me get McDonald's is steak and lobster nowadays, to be honest. McDonald's, Burger King, that's all fine dine cuisines nowadays, as much as it costs. So just doing that stuff, to be honest, um, basic food nowadays is expensive. Um, Preacher, are the fires still burning? Yes, we'll get into all that here in a few minutes. We'll get into the fires here shortly. I mean, I might as well just go at it now. Just kind of wanted to get that stuff out the way of getting because I'm myself. It takes me. It depends on where I'm going, but anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to kind of get to about 30 to 40 minutes to get to the fire zone. I'll say about 30 minutes to get to the fire zones. Then after that is trying to maneuver, right? Because although I've paid for press credentials and have press stuff, for some reason it doesn't matter because I don't have a big camera. And the question always is, quote unquote, who are you with? So I've learned that throughout the years of experiences and different life things I've been through. It's all about who you know, who you're with. It really is. And which is why networking is so big. It's all about who are you with? So even though you've have like credentials that supposedly theoretically mean something, it's almost like they don't. So then you got to work skills, character, and things like that. And sometimes that don't even work. And then after that, you got to figure out other stuff. And hopefully the Lord gives you something or blesses you with something and you go from there. These days, nothing is cheap. That is correct. That is correct. I couldn't tell you how long it's been since I had a steak dinner. I can't either. I don't eat steak though. I'm not a big steak dinner eating. So the whole steak dinner thing isn't like, whatever. There's other food I like that. There's other meat and stuff and fish and things like that. I like fish and chips a lot. I'm big fish and chips. Give me some cod and some catfish, and I'm good. I like me some fish, halibut. These days, nothing is cheap. You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. So that's why the stuff, what you guys do, how you guys support, even like growing the channel instead of decreasing the numbers. How about we grow the channel? That helps a lot too. Tell all your friends and stuff like that. That helps a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into this. So, I know this is on YouTube. It is, and I don't know if you guys get alerts for videos that I post or anything like that, but if you don't, this was the first day that so on this past Saturday, I forgot exactly what I was doing, but I was driving around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't know exactly what I was doing, but I was going toward the fires. Again, I'm 30 minutes away, so I see this plume of smoke, and I did take a picture of it. Matter of fact, um, I did take a picture of it. Oh, yeah, it'll probably even say what time. I don't know if it'll say the time it was, but I did take a picture. Cause right, yeah. No, it just says August 1st. So, what's up, Pinko? We were 1 mile. We were one square. Wait, we were one square from level 3. Little too close. Wow. Wow. I'm glad you guys are safe. I'm glad you guys are safe. There's a lot of people. It's sad seeing people, and the expressions on them. And there's footage I haven't posted. There's footage I don't even have that I wish I could have, but I can't because it's just the timing not appropriate. Um, so like there was some people I got yesterday. I was down in the zone that's been, you know, demolished. Um, and and the thing is, you see homeowners on the property, right? And you're in a zone, a very vulnerable zone, right? Very vulnerable, very, because not it's the places that have got hit. They're neighborhoods of like 8 blocks just wiped, right? And so you got to use wisdom, right? In off of practice and things like that. And so the homeowners kind of know what people are doing, right? And you got to remember a lot of these homeowners or people where they've lived, they know their neighbors as well, right? So they know that you probably don't live there in that area. They never seen you. And so you just don't want to put a camera even from a ways away. You don't want to put a camera in their face. And then you go and then they obviously notice you and see things like that. And so you just don't want to have a camera on them because of the vulnerability and the heartbreak that they're already going through. So yesterday there was a family on a property and they saw me filming, and I'll show you guys the footage and tell you. Um, it was a husband, wife, I think maybe their parents, somebody's parents were there, and then the children. And the children are on the property. They had 3 or 4 children. They're on the property looking probably at their bedroom. Oh, that was this, and they're running around. And they're not, it looks like they're not as affected as obviously the parents, and I'm like, man. And buddy of mine was driving. And so as I'm walking back to his car to get in, I said something, and then the wife kind of started talking to me and a little bit about that. Um, they got they got level 3, and they evacuated on Saturday, and yesterday was their first time coming there. Right, 2 houses away was a house completely untouched. On both sides of that house, that was untouched. Like the house was the only thing standing, kind of like in this. It was a cul-de-sac, and it was the only thing standing. And these homeowners were on there, you know, and as she's kind of talking, I was like, "Is this your first time back?" And she's like, "Yeah." And at that point, she's starting to get teary eyed. So it's like you can't just, although you want to, because it's raw. Because the thing about what I do, I love raw stuff. That's why I don't like to edit. You're gonna go. You're trying to get a clip. Like, no, not really, not really, because I like raw stuff, right? Because it's just better that way, right? Raw emotions, raw feelings, whatever you're saying is said. I don't like clipping, and on some things you have to, unfortunately, especially like with X. X is a really big clipping type of platform and machine. So is Instagram. But it was like one of those things, like, oh, hold on, let me pull my phone. Can I film us talking? And sometimes you do it. There was a footage I got yesterday or the day before. Yeah, was it yesterday? Might have been yesterday. I don't know, yesterday or day before. And I met up with brother Eric. He met up with me, and it was a police officer. So, and I mean, it's kind of somewhat gone viral. It's on, at least on X. It's somewhat gone viral. Um, and officer was talking to people, and I'll show this as well. But the officer was talking to people, and I just pull out my phone, right? Because I'm kind of like in the back. Um, so I didn't ask no question on that one because it was mostly him talking instead of them talking. And so it's just things like it can be challenging, but it's just I guess you got to use your head in these type of things. Then plus with all the road closures and all that, like I said, it's challenging. Um, Now I will say someone who asked me a little bit earlier, who was it? Somebody asked me about the fires, or was it that? I don't know who it was. Who was it? Who was it? Also pretty crazy. They sent out planned shutoffs the day before, and the fires exact areas. I commented on your Facebook. I was going to send my screenshots. You should send my screenshots. You can message me if you want. Somebody asked if the fire. I don't know where it's at even. No notification. Hello, everyone. Hello, Elizabeth. Check your thing again to see if the notifications are coming through. Real American Voice should put you to work. I wish, but it hasn't happened. It's strange though too because all that because I've been doing this stuff for now 5-6 years but it's what it is. Probably because I'm unhinged. Okay, yeah, it was Maxie Hess says, "Preacher, are the fires still burning?" Um, I think they're still burning today. There was a sheriff that said that one of the fires is still spreading, so it's zero containment, and that was as of let's say 12-ish, 1 o'clock. That was at that time. Actually, let me see what time it was exactly. It was at time to eat steak that. That was at exactly earlier than I thought. 10:30. 10:37. I actually made a tweet about it. At 10:37, the Autumn Lane fire was spreading both north and south. So there are fires still spreading. There was zero containment in that. Regarding the Indian Trail one, old Indian Trail fire, the one that is started by this arson. I think they've kind of got some things under control. And still, like, here's my thing. Any chance you're going to be in I want to go Dearborn also on the 18th of August. Yes, Elizabeth. But again, all that is depending on you guys. It all depends really a lot on you guys where I get to. What was I saying? The fire. I don't think that I don't know I don't know what they used to determine if it's contained, not contained, how much is contained. I don't know. I don't know their measuring ways of measuring that. I don't know. The smoke that's in the air does not seem like it's smoke from, let's say, new fires. Does that make sense? The sky is smoky 100%, but it doesn't seem like it's new fires more than what's already like things that are already smoldering. Because I went by a place that I went. There's several places I went by today, and the whole I mean, things are still smoking. Not necessarily fires, although there are some fires that are like like we would say a campfire type of size, but they're already in burned areas, so they're not even stopping those because it's the zone is already dead. If that makes sense, it's already blacked out, so that fire is not going to spread to nothing because it's already just there. Not to say that they won't go back at some point and put out, but it's not like well, I don't even know all the proper words to say. It's not going to be something that spreads, if that makes sense. Because it's already like in a dead zone, everything's already burnt. A little fire from something is still just kind of going on. They have their own ways of doing things. Like we be freaking out, oh, there's a fire right there. And it's like to them, it's like, there's nothing going on. Which if you guys heard my live stream from Sunday, was it Sunday? I think Sunday, when I was talking to the firefighter, he was saying the same thing, like, okay, that thing right there, it's smoking, but it's nothing. But then somebody came along and put it out because, it's like little patchwork type of thing. Like, okay, just come and deal with the rest of that. Like the main thing's already done. So I guess that means it's contained. Yeah, I guess it's contained. I don't know. So this on Saturday was this here was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This picture here. And you can see that all back in the background, right? So that was all like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. I was like, oh, there's a fire going on. And yeah, and to the right here, this pole, um, to the right of this pole, there, you can see the smoke up in the air. You can still see blue sky, right? And then over here, like toward where it says exit 2, you can see more of a plume, right? So this plume of smoke is, like I said, it started around 1 o'clock. So this plume of smoke is actually things that are getting caught on fire, like freshly getting, like brand new type of stuff. Like, okay, it's getting caught on fire. And this here is, I mean, I'm talking maybe 30 miles away. Um, Let me see exactly. I could give you actually way better, um, exact how far away it was. Um, mm, where is that? Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, I'm that 35 minute away. So 30 miles. 30 miles. That's 30 to 40 miles away. 30, maybe 35. So that's 35 miles away. Um, so okay, you sent them through Facebook Messenger. Thank you very much. So that, like I said, this was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So later, obviously as things progressed, right? I don't even know, because then yeah, after that I posted the in and out thing. And then so I want to say probably around 4 o'clock, 4:30, I was like, okay, my buddy called me. He's like, about the fires. I was like, yeah. So like he's like, you want to go? I was like, well, yeah. And so he came and scooped me up, and as we're driving on I-90 going west from Idaho, this was the footage of that I took right here. And now you can see, right? So if you look to the left, right, like right above my picture here, and you see all that smoke, and then above that smoke, you see this plume, the plume. So it's like it's you guys can see the differences, hopefully. So above my head here, this plume here, that is the one that was theoretically and allegedly started. That's the old trail road, the old trail fire, right? That's the old trail fire right there. So, and you got to remember on this day, right? This day, and it was already said it was going to be 50-mile-per-hour gust, and it was windy. It was windy. Um, it was windy. Things were blowing around. You see the leaves on the tree. You see the branches blowing, things like that. It was windy, and so it started. However, this person started or whatever, it got started. Well, embers moved across the river because it was on the at this point the Spokane River goes north and south at this point where this fire started. It goes east and west, but at this point it goes north and south. It curves like right after on the southwest side of Spokane, downtown Spokane. It starts to curve and go up north. So the fire at this point was where it started was on the west side of the river. And there's not, I mean, depending on where he started at, I guess. I mean, it is a lot of dry trees and stuff over there. I mean, so the dude could have been homeless. I mean, probably was because, I mean, rumors are the dude took out his own dad over dishes. His dad telling him to do the dishes or something like that. His dad gave him some sort of instructions back in 2010, 2012, and then he axed his dad, and that was it. I don't understand this stuff. Mothers taking out their children and sons taking out their dads. All right. Well, that's what he did. And so this area where maybe it was started at was trees and bushes. So he could have been homeless. I mean, there's nothing there when I look at, let's look at this. Let's just try to get Google Maps up to help you guys and see things and stuff like that. Google Maps. Let's see if we can turn on the fire as well. Where's my layers at? Layers. More wildfires. Top. Okay. Let's see if this works. All right. Updated 28 minutes ago. Spokane Old Trail fires. Okay. I know I'm going to be going back and forth a lot. I can't make this bigger. Let me try this. All right. Let's go here. Let's do this. Okay. So the Old Trails fire. So here's Spokane. You guys see Spokane? Yep, you do see Spokane, right? So there's Spokane. This Highway 2 going north and south, that's the main thoroughfare in Spokane. 3 lanes. These are 3 lanes on each side of the street. Okay. So here's 291. That's probably, I don't know, maybe 5 miles up from the freeway of I-90. Let's say it's 5 miles up. Let's just go there. We'll say 5 miles up. There's Dix. Let's go from Dix. Let's go up to here. We'll go up to the mall. We'll go up to the mall. Directions from there to I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm trying to make this fun. Arby's. There's Arby's there. So division. State division. No, that's not the right one. Anyway, let's just say 5 miles. Forget it. Sounds like he was demonic possessed, possibly. So let's just say it's 5 miles. So I do know that from this intersection with 291, which is also called Francis, this is about going to your left, going to the west. It's about 5 to 7 miles down to right after this road closure. Ooh, it's closed until the 14th. Wow. I gotta tell my buddy that. So right to about right here, okay, where the second one is at. It's about 5 to 7 miles. Okay. So a mile down to the south from this road closure, this is the VA hospital. The VA Medical Center. This is about a mile. Right here is about a mile. From there, this was evacuated Saturday night. So this right here is the river. You have the Spokane River, and I guess somewhere over here is in this area is where terrain. I don't want terrain. I want satellite. There's satellite. There we go. That's what I was looking for you guys. Okay. So if the fire was started over here, you can see there's nothing there except dry desert and trees and shrubbery with trails. Centennial Trail, which does go all the way into Spokane. It's a trail people walk, bike. So who knows if it came from the trail that hasn't been released. So if it did come to the trail, the wind is blowing. The wind was blowing northeast. It was going northeast from the south. So everything started to blow up this way. Up this way. So the very first place that was impacted, right, is this neighborhood right in here, where I got to yesterday and filmed. This whole neighborhood, because the fire went straight up this way, all through this, right, all through that. It was really going at a good angle, almost more north than even northeast at this point, because it got over here and it went from this Holyoke, and it went north, and it got all this neighborhood, this whole Vista Senior Living Spokane. It got that, and it got the Real Life Church got taken out. Yeah. And then this building here, this Avista Senior Living, is saved, and actually coming down this field across the roof of this into this neighborhood. Half of this neighborhood is saved because of the fire retardant. So from up in this field coming all the way down, you can see a red, and I actually posted that, which I'll show you guys. Red streak all the way across. And then from here back is burned. These apartments here on the corner is burned. So this one here, the garages were burned. There was cars in the garage, and these two complexes were burnt. All this is still standing. So it really went north. And then from here, the fire. So again, we're looking at this. It went basically, I guess, from where it started, somewhere over here, it went straight north. Boom. 2 neighborhoods right here taken out. It went straight north. So there's in West Indian Trail Road. So, and I haven't been able to make my way in any of this area here. I'm glad my mouse is showing you guys. I haven't been able to make my way in any of this area here. And I can't figure out how to get there or do it, because they have Indian Trail Road blocked off somewhere up to the north, and they have it blocked off right at this intersection, Kathleen Ave and Indiana Trail. So when I was live streaming the other day, this is where I was at live streaming, right? I parked down here on West Kathleen Road, got out, and I started. They were allowing foot traffic and scooters. So, but they have this street blocked off going up here, and they have it going north on Indian Trail. So these 2 houses here, Blessed Maximum Care Facility or whatever, those 2 houses are gone completely. I have video of that. And actually, there was a gas leak there, which is when they told me to be careful about walking because there'll be a gas leak. And then from there, all the these were still standing. I think this one was still standing. These 2 were gone. Is it these 2? These 2. No, there was 3. 4. There was 4. These 4 were gone. These 4 houses. These houses up here on West Arrowhead Road are gone. And then I don't know beyond that. I walked more up the road north. And again, because we're talking about this thing going north, it hit these two homes here on Balboa Street. So this home here with the pool and across here was hit. This one was fine with the white roof. All these were fine. These two were hit and everything behind was hit. All the trees. So basically those two houses hit, then there's nothing else. There's just trees. And it goes north. Like I said, continues to go up, hits those four houses there, up in this neighborhood, and continues to go north. All this whole field is black trees. And then, like I said, I haven't been able to go anywhere north after this and figure. So I don't know about these homes. I don't know about this neighborhood. A lot of people were asking me, how's the Safeway area? I haven't been able to make it to Barnes. Okay. I think this area is messed up as well, from what I've heard, because I've heard that Barnes is closed. And it continues to go north for however long or wherever they are able to stop it at, because people have been talking about 5 Mile Prairie. Okay, so that's the one that got started theoretically by somebody. So as that's getting started, there's this one here, Autumn Lane Fire. Rumors are this got started by a farmer doing what farmers do. Okay, so probably accident, not intentional. This is the one that has zero containment at this point and is still spreading as of today, going north and south. Which way north? I don't know if it's north or northeast or south. However, with that said, today, so it must be going also north and west, because Rudder Parkway was closed today, which is where the officer told us it's still burning at. He told us that, right? See, an Indiana Trail runs into it. Okay, so he told us it was closed. Where at? Right over here. Where's it at? Right here. I'm not familiar with this area. I'm just going off memory and street names. And he told us it was closed at this intersection right here. So at this intersection, they have a block, National Guard, police, can't go either way. So, and he said right down the road on Rutter, it was burning. So somewhere from here on, he said there was fires going on today, somewhere in this area. So that's his two separate fires. So that one is spreading still from theoretically a farmer. The rumors are. Okay. Now we're going to go backwards a little bit. So the fire that was started on Saturday, Old Trails Fire, with the wind blowing between both of these, because they were both on Saturday, right? Autumn Lane Fire and Old Trails Fire, both on Saturday. Old Trails Fire, the wind is blowing northeast. Okay, definitely northeast. And right here, right? I mean, this is 7 miles within itself. I mean, you guys can see it's not really far. I mean, yeah, you're going to have traffic lights and everything like that. But I'm able to get all this in the same screenshot. So there's a main thoroughfare through Spokane, Highway 2, Division Street. Embers fly, fly, fly. And they touch down here in Orchard Prairie, somewhere right around where it says Fairview Fire. Okay. So when the video I haven't shown it yet. So let me go back to the video. All right. We'll go back to actually this. Now you see, again, above my head here, this is a collaboration of the Old Trails Fire and Autumn. This over here to the right, where all the plume and stuff, and it looks like fresh fire, that is the Fairview Fire that later started up from embers being flown over that way, is what started that fire. So let's go back to Google Maps. This is that area. You can't. This is that area. I got onto Aragon. Aragon's a main thoroughfare. Another main thoroughfare connects to I-90. This was blocked here at the Nom Nom. You couldn't not go further down Aragon. North, you had to go east or west. Decided to go west along Bigelow. And I have footage of that. I still can't show because we ended up turning down one of these little side roads, which was a dead end. I don't know which one. I think it was this one right here, actually. Went down one of these side roads. And you can see the flames, not flames, but the smoke really a lot. And I haven't posted those videos yet. I should post them. Anyway, went down here, right? Turned off at Bigelow, East Bigelow, went on to Griggs Road. From Griggs Road, we turned onto North Orchard Prairie, went north up to Orchard Road. And right when we hit Orchard Road, we were in the thick of it. If you pay attention and you look at this from satellite view, you can probably see why we were in the thick of it. Look at all this nice green. Went down here, everything went past the cemetery, kept going, got to this loop. This whole area was catching on fire. They saved this house here. I think this house was saved. This house here was not saved. Where's that? Maybe it wasn't even a house yet at this point. Well, there's a house there, or something was there, but something was not saved. It was blazing fire. It was hot. All the roadway here was parts on fire. They had crews out here. This here is actually a fire station. This is actually a fire station. So this was saved and they were out helping. And then back in here was all the flames going on behind these homes. And this is a valley. So all this here is from up top here going down is a downgrade thing. So all this stuff was catching fire all back here. This whole field back here caught fire. This house had flames surrounding it. I think that's the house. I think that's the house that has flames surrounding. Maybe not. It's all back in this area. But I mean, anyway, there's a lot to this. I mean, there's a lot. And so I don't know how well these are contained. If they're contained, I don't know. I mean, we can look into it as we're on the show tonight. But this one is definitely not contained, and it's continuing to spread as of this afternoon. So keep these in mind. Autumn Lane was an accident, theoretically, a farmer. Old Trails was the arson who they arrested. The Old Trails got embers over to Fairview. So just try to do your best to remember as we go through some of the videos so that you guys can somewhat have an idea of know what I'm talking about. All right. So 4-ish o'clock in the afternoon, right, on that day, here's this. There's that. On my way to, and at this point, we're trying to figure out which one we're going to because here's the thing. At this point, we didn't know nothing about a second fire starting up. There was nothing said about a Fairview fire, a third fire. The only thing was said was the one that's straight ahead. So we're like, what's this? We go up another mile to another exit. We're like, oh, it's right there. We get off the exit, and then, like I said, it's on my other phone that I have not posted. Excuse me, which I probably will. I need to. Like it's right there, and then we started to look to see how we could get to it. So once we get to it, before I do that, let me make sure of something. I have to deal with this the whole time. Seriously. Yep, I am. Okay, so um okay. Here we go. All right, so as I get to it, we get to the road, right? Get to the road, and I'm like, okay. So I said, now what I'm about to show you is different clips that I've already taken, and the clips are on YouTube, I believe. Not YouTube, but X. I just want to see something real quick. I want to make sure. Actually, yeah. Okay. All right. Start seeing stuff. I'm not knowing. So here's the deal. I'm not knowing what to expect. And the wind is crazy. The wind is super, like I said, 40, 50-mile-an-hour gusts. I'm not knowing what to expect. It's kind of intense because like we already went past kind of a roadblock on the main thoroughfare. So which means, hey, we don't want you in this area. Well, we got into the area because of Google Maps. Pros and cons to Google Maps. I shouldn't say that, should I? Because they're gonna anyway. So you can see in the background through the fence, that's fire. Those are flames. And I don't know the terrains. I don't know where it's at, where it's coming from, XYZ, but that's flames back there. So I zoom in. You see it blowing. You see that's blowing. Those flames are blowing. You can imagine how easy that stuff is to skip and hop and jump. And you can feel, and to be honest with you guys, you can actually feel the heat. I can feel the heat from those flames, and I'm probably a football field 100 yards away. You can feel that. You can still feel the heat. So you have a collaboration again of three fires now at this point. Collaboration of three fires going on, of smoke at least. You see the trees blowing, windy, and that's not.
You can hear it crack.
Yeah, you can hear it. So my buddy, like, can you hear it crack? Yes, you could definitely hear it cracking, snapping, popping. All sorts of things are going on. Kind of like how a tornado would sound. Oh my goodness. Let me be a storm chaser, please. So yes, you could hear all that stuff going on. You see the trees. It was windy. Perfect day for this to happen. Sky's just filled. So we moved down a little bit. We're still in the same area of this new fire going on, the Fairview fire. So this is only a couple blocks away. I'm looking back to where I was just at. This is looking back to where I was at. See it rising. I'm like, okay, it's a structure or something just got hit. Which it is true because, like I said, we're up above a hill. All those trees that you guys see there goes down into like a valley. So what you were just seeing back behind me was down in the valley with that dark smoke down on the ridge. So probably a house definitely being burnt, because when you see that type of stuff, there's something being caught on fire. This clear smoke is basically just smoke. But when you see these plumes, something catches on fire, which you'll see in a little while. Basically, right here, you can see the difference. So these trucks, I don't know, homeowners or whatnot. You see as they put the fire out on the ground here, right? The hot shots, they're walking, just putting fires out. It still stays it still stays smoky, right? It still stays smoky. Now, we're a little ways away. This is a house that was completely already caught on fire. And I don't know how soon or late we were, how late we were to this Fairview fire. At the time, they didn't have the full resources because all their focus, you had two other fires going on all on the same day, big fire. So the focus, and they didn't have the resources. They they did not have the resources, and you can't plan for something like this. Even if it is a arson, you can't completely plan for it because of the elements of what God does. Let's just call it, it's not Mother Nature, it's God. The elements of what God does. He wants it to blow that way. He might want it to blow over that way. You can't control that. So it's in his hands of what happens. Structures that have been burnt to the ground. Those houses are still standing. So this whole area is definitely a evac 3 area. I hear the helicopter come in. So he's dumping. I'm thinking he's coming to where we're at. But no, he's dumping to where the valley's at, down in the valley. So he's dumping there. So we get to this road, and right here, this road here, I'll show you guys where it's at. Right, let me show you guys exactly where it's at. That road that I was just showing you is right there, right? Because you'll see this building here in just a second. So where I had the camera at, I'm looking at this house here and this one. So you'll see. So there's about three houses here in this area, right? That the camera's looking at right there. So the one on the far left up there, right here, that's burnt down. Right? That one's burnt. This one right here is burnt. This one right here is burnt with the gray roof. That thing is gone. These two are still standing. Except their shed. You guys can see the wind. See? North Pleasant Hill. You saw the sign. There it is, North Pleasant Hill. So this house again, right here, completely gone. And then there was a shed out here that was on fire. I don't know which one it was. Don't look like it was there at the time. They're still when Google took these pictures, it looks like they're still working on the house. All right. So at this point, right here, you can see it's going downhill, right? Going downhill. Maybe you can't see it. We're going downhill. Going downhill. So going downhill in the video. So we leave that area where we're just looking at these houses. We continue on Gerlich Road, make this curve, and we're going down this hill. This is all a hill, right? Until we get to this area, which I think the property must have been here where this circle is at. I'm only guessing. I think this is the property. We'll see in just a minute. All right, we'll see because this is all the road, the side of the road is going. And there's that. Yeah, that house must be up there. So we, at this point, went back up. We turned around, right? uh, so we kept on going. At this point, we're going west. We're going southwest. Came down. Actually, it might have been this house or area that was on fire. It might that's where it was at. It was that this whole structure thing or whatever was going on there. That's what was on fire. Okay, that's gone. Come down here. They didn't really have they didn't have a roadblock yet. Didn't have a roadblock, so we came on Freya, looped back around, went back up. Now that night, never mind, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so turned around, went back through it, right? There's the houses that are standing. There's the firefighter house. This house they were protecting, you can see, I don't know exactly which one it is, but you can see them up at it walking around right there. So they're probably watering it, probably trying to cool it down. Now, again, that's all on the other side of the ridge. I'm back up there, kind of where I was showing you guys. That's down in the ridge. There's homeowners there. That's a homeowner trying to probably draw a line. I was concerned about them because at one point I did hear screaming. So I was concerned about these people because they were out there protecting their home, doing what they needed to do, and so. See the flames popping up there. The guy's back there walking. And at this point, honestly, I was looking to see, I was like, is this guy starting fires? Because that's what was going through my head. Like, is this guy starting stuff? You know, we're from Portland, right? That's what we do. We start fires. So that's what I was thinking. But I'm like, okay, no, probably not. Look at the flames. I don't know if you guys saw that. This is all the ridge. And in the back right there, look at that. See those flames? That's as tall as a tree. Those flames right there are pretty tall. I mean, that tree is probably 30 feet-ish. Those flames are up there. And at this point, I didn't know that was a ridge. I didn't know there was anything on the back side of that. I did not know. I didn't know. Tractors out there moving stuff. So something's back there burning, and here's what I'm talking about. As you can see, it's like it's a new plume of smoke. See, you see that? That's a plume versus like just air smoke. So again, we're pretty close to this stuff. You can feel the heat. Definitely feel the heat. See, those are plumes. There's a difference between, if you look on the left, that's just smoke lingering. There you go, more stuff. I'm still on that same road. So that road right there that I was just on, again, I'll zoom out, but still, I want to say it was probably, it was somewhere between here, North Palmer, and somewhere in this area on Orchard, but in between these two. So this footage, oh, sorry. So somewhere between there, here at Palmer to about right here, somewhere in between. It definitely wasn't on the curve of the cemetery, so it was either this part here or down here. Now this footage here, this piece that pops up, right? That's obviously that green roof is right there. Okay, so that's that. So right behind it is this ridge. Look what's right below the ridge. This. So it's a road. So a hill down to this road, houses, field, houses. Okay, they blocked that out. No, they didn't. So, yep, field houses, all that, all in that road. Crazy stuff. So crazy. Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm trying to see something because what is that? It's that. That's the house. Okay. All right. Hello, Quincy. Greetings from Spokane. Hello, hello. I'm in the north side of Spokane, about 15 blocks, where the second fire also started, the Fairview. This is what I'm actually showing right now, the Fairview fire. Thanks for being here. Glad. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, please, if you haven't. So about 15 blocks from that. Are you on the west side of 395 then? I wouldn't really call this area blocks up here. That's why I'm asking, because you said 15 blocks. So there's the greenhouse. That's that roof right there. Now, if you watch, you'll see flames hit up. You'll see the flames spark up in a minute. Oh, they're all in the back. See, those are new flames starting up, probably from that house right down below. Look, right there. Okay, so those flames there, I'm only guessing and assuming it's it's somewhere, it's either a lot of these trees or it's these structures back here. One of the two. Lincoln Road, okay, more towards the north, okay, to Division. All right. So you're like right now, I think you're in, as far as layer wise, you're probably like in zone 2 or 1 when it comes to smoke. Let me see. I think I'm in the right thing for smoke. Let me see. Maybe not. More smoke. It don't even say this stuff is contained. 15 as a 15. So you're probably what, around zone 2, right? No, zone 1. You're in zone 1. Zone 1. And yes, autumn fire is still spreading. Look, it's almost down to touching. It's all. Oh wow. It's almost ready to be level 3, touching with Old Trails fire. Thanks, man, for doing this video. You're welcome. Thank you for the super chat. God bless you. And I hope you stay safe out there as well. Hope you stay safe. And if you need to email me about anything, I'm like I said, I keep trying to obviously show this stuff, get footage. I know it's very vulnerable for people over there. But obviously I want to get this stuff out and show people. I mean, obviously people have family members all across the nation, so the more I can show, the better. So people, can know what's going on. You're on Country Homes. I think I was on Country Homes trying to work my way into the Old Trails fire. The other day, old Country Homes. I think they had it blocked off though. I think they did. We're in between all this. We are in between all this. We did evacuate that day for safety. Okay. Okay, your Country Homes. Okay, so you're up in. I don't really want to say obviously this is streaming worldwide. I don't want to give too much away, but I was yeah, there's a lot to all this stuff, you guys. So we know the area you're at. Perfect. That's cool. If you want to email me, you can email me. My email is on the bottom, scrolling on the ticker. So if you want to email me, that'd be great. We could talk a little bit more and see if you guys need help with anything. I don't want to give out too much information, obviously. So let's go back to this. So all that, like I said, where I was at, East Orchard Road, there it is. The smoke is still covering the area, which is true. So there's that house again, right? The green roof. More fire over there through the trees, down in the valley. You guys can hear the wind. That's how strong this wind was on Saturday. Okay, so at this point here, what you're looking at right there, I want to go back to what is satellite, but I want to take off the smoke. Keep satellite on. Where's satellite? Keep satellite on. So at this point, what you were looking at right there was it was right here. It was right here on North Doak Road. It was right here. This was a private driveway, I think, up into this house here. I was right at kind of like at their driveway looking right here at this area. So all this was being burnt. All this whole area was burnt. And I didn't go much further because it got more darker with smoke down this road that's going north, Doak Road going more north. So we didn't go down there. Again, there wasn't much personnel, much people help. I mean, these people really seemed like they were on their own, to be honest with you. There wasn't planes going on. So that's what I'm looking at in this video. That whole hillside right there. All that. That whole hillside is what I was looking at. So that's okay. So right there, what you're seeing right there is more than likely. I could probably pinpoint which tree it is, to be honest with you. This is how good it was. This one right here. Oh, it was this tree right here, this big one. We're backing out because we only went right here, just used the driveway to back out. No looting going on. I don't do that stuff. Backing out the driveway, I was standing right here, shooting, looking across the field. That tree that you see is that tree right here, this big one. Right there. All right. So backing up. So here, I was coming this way. Right there, we're close to it. Right? It's coming toward us. I mean, this is probably 30 yards away, you guys. Probably 30 yards away. And that there was right. It was right. What is it? Right here. It was all this. This house was still standing, but the fire was all around it. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Got it. Okay, right here. This is the field. The fire was about right here. Right about this tree. Yep. Look. There's a tree on the right. There's a tree on the right. It's behind the tree. So this whole field, right, is being burnt. So, like I said, I'm right down now. I'm on the back side of this road, Orchard. I'm down in the valley here. So this whole field, all this stuff was being burnt. Right? If you look at it, when I put the video back on, you'll see this shed or whatever it is being burnt. This house back here is surrounded. Both these houses were surrounded by fire. I don't know if they're saved. I haven't been back. I haven't been up in there. I don't know if they're saved. And then my buddy's like, because you could feel the flames were that close, he said, let's get out of here.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Look at that whole line of fire to the tree. We're going uphill at this point. That whole field. So that whole field, right? So we go up this road, it's going uphill. This whole field is wiped. That whole field is wiped out. So that fire that caught on, and I don't know where it started for I don't know where it started at, the embers, where it landed first. But this whole area, here's the field I was just showing. Palmer Road. But this whole area started getting hit. And this is going uphill from all these main streets. So this is like a little mountain per se, small mountain, hills. But all this area, all through where all this green shrubbery's at, maybe it started right there where it says Fairview Fire. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it because, I mean, it affected all this hillside. I was actually out there today. So this whole hillside right by the 395 is all blacked out. All of it. Here's one of the structures that got burnt down here on Gerlach. And it just came across. So, yeah, it came northeast and then kind of went west, obviously back along this area here, down Orchard, basically parallel with Orchard Road. And I don't know from there. After that, I don't know because we only made it to this area. I didn't go past that. So I don't know what happened, and I haven't been able to go and see what happened after that. But yeah, all this green, all these trees, all this, all the plains there. So then let's go back. So that's that video. That's that. That's a collaboration of everything that I got that day. Collaboration I got that day. That night I went back out to Old Trail Fire, and that's the one down by the river that was started by the guy. I went back down by there. The VA hospital was evacuated. I went into one of the neighborhoods. And this is what it was like in one of the neighborhoods, which was the most eeriest feeling I think I've had since probably January 19th in Washington, D.C., when they had a National Guard out in D.C. and nobody was in downtown D.C. And it felt like I Am Legend. This was probably one of the next creepiest things because you're in a zone where everybody has gone from their homes and it's blacked out in the neighborhood. So this is what this was like and I can show you the area. I forget which street I was on, but actually, so this was down at, actually what I'll do first is back up a second. Let me see. It keeps making me restart all the way with my videos. Hold on. So this here, I'll show you the VA hospital. So here's the VA. VA hospital. I was evacuated Saturday night right there. Okay, so right now at this point here, this is a road is blocked off. This road here is blocked off. and it was blocked off right to the left, right up there where he's coming from. He's going into the fire at that point. Right? Right. Okay, sweet. So that's the VA hospital medical center. That is that is there's a company there on Fairview, like construction materials. Um, some junk cars, old box trailers is actually where I see the big fire on Market Street. That's that day when we evacuated towards. Okay, yes, I'll get to that in a little bit. I'll get to that in a little bit, Jewel. Idaho and Bigelow. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll get to that in a little bit. So there's the VA hospital. You go north, and this is where they have blocked off right now. I don't have the layers on. There's here we go with layers. Traffic is highlight. So there's where they have blocked off. Right there's 291. I mean VA hospital. You're talking about 10 blocks ish. Yeah, about 10 blocks up to 291. So I made it. So this video I'm getting ready to show you now is I want to say right about mm, I think it was Lions here. Lions and Sutherland. Let's just say that. It was within these two blocks here. Within these two blocks. Um so let me see. Between Sutherland and like I said, very eerie. Right here. Make this bigger for a second. And you can see the smoke. So, I mean, like I was saying, this to me it was eerie. Um, you see, there's a telephone pole. Lights are off. The whole neighborhood. I mean, you don't see no porch lights on, no lights in people's houses. I'm the only one out there. Like it's just, and it's thick smoke. It's thick I mean, Saturday night, it's thick smoke, and obviously there's a fire right. I don't know how far away, probably right down the hill, where it was still catching those homes on fire, which you guys will see in a little bit. But yeah, not just you know apocalyptic type of feel. Neighborhood is just blacked out. Yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. So that was that on, and I just showed you guys kind of like the area where it was at, right? Um, like I said, this stuff just keeps kicking me back out. So here, I don't think I have this video up. Let me see something real quick. I don't think I have these up. Let me see something. Um, where is Okay, no. Okay, so here, what I'm about to show you now. So I went from that area, right? I went from that area. So I went from Lyons, trying to figure my way around Indiana Trail, and I went down Indiana Trail, and they had it blocked right here again at Kathleen. So I was like, okay, I came back. As I was coming back, I was going back south, and then I saw this to the side of the road. I think it's it. Yep, it's this. I mean, nothing too big, but still, I mean, you know, everything's blacked out again. Everything's blacked out. So I saw this. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, that's right on the side of the road, like right. So all on the side of the road. Just going up the hill. So the hill is going up. The hill that it is going up at that point is right about, I think it was this area right here where all these trees are at. It's where all these trees are at. That was this area that was going up right there. It was going up this way. So did that. So came up, like I said, from where I was at down here, right over here on Lyons, came up these roads, went to West Indian Trail. Like I said, I'm just exploring, trying to get stuff. Got that as I'm coming back out. Then at that point, I was trying to get on 5 Mile Road, but they had it blocked off. And then stuff keeps moving all over the place. So then I went back. I went back to where I was at during the day. I went back to where I was at during the day, and which is okay to again the Fairview fire because all country homes. There's country homes. Jewel was talking about it a second ago. Country homes. They have these roads all blocked off. Right, all this is blocked off. The whole area still blocked off. Let's see when it opens up. See, it doesn't say. All right, it doesn't say. So Francis is blocked off. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It was blocked off from Division Street. Anyway, I went back out Francis, and when I started because I was on my way home actually, and I got here to Francis, and Francis, there's this overpass, right? And when I got to the overpass, I looked north because north is where, right? North, right? I'm on Francis and Bigelow. North is where, guess what? Right there. So as I'm traveling that night, I look north to see if I see any flames from where I was at earlier during the day with all this beautiful greenery here that's not no longer green. And I saw a huge fire. So when I saw the huge fire, I was like, what is that? And so I got to Francis and Freya. I was like, okay, let me go north. So I go north, go around these little roundabouts, continue north. Well, this is a plant. I'm like, oh boy, this is a plant. And I'm like, I'm coming up to where we were at. Well, there's Gearlac. And I'm like, I see flames right over here on this hill here, like big flames. Right. So I turn. I'm like, okay, the road wasn't blocked. So I get here, and this whole thing here is on fire. World Connections towing, whatever is on this area. I know that's the one that you were talking about. That's the one fire. Yes. I knew it. That's why I said I'd get to it in a little bit. I figured that's what you were referring to. And I got to here and I was like, whoa. And it came down here. I stopped. I filmed up this way because this whole area was on fire. There's an officer here blocking the road. And I make a right and go down. I go down Market. I stop, film. I went down Market. This whole thing is just desolated. Nobody's out there. I go all the way down Market. I get to here. Okay, it's roadblock. I keep going. No one's on these streets, you guys, whatsoever. Nobody's on the streets. I get here to second in the Mead area, which is really north side. You'll see how far I'm away from downtown Spokane in a minute. I'll zoom out. I make a right. I go down here. And it says it's blocked until August 7th. There was no officer there. And I started to go, and it was just covered with smoke. And I was like, and this goes, it was blacked out. Like for, 4 miles. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, I ain't doing it. So I didn't do it. Yep, call me scared, call me whatever you want, but I didn't do it. I turned around, came back up to where I was at, and filmed some more from this. And then at that point, it was interesting because I don't know what happened. Something was going on. But at that point, when I was pulled over, the cop that was here at this intersection at North Freya took off. So he and I'm talking about took off because I actually passed it and kept going. I was going to pull over, but I didn't want the cop to get suspicious. So I passed this intersection. Right when I passed it, this cop came flying. He went past me. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go back. So I went back and pulled over. I pulled over and because there's like a shoulder with a bunch of gravel and dirt right there. You guys can see. I pulled over there in between these two trees here and filmed. So all this area was on fire. This whole thing was on fire. And today it's still smoking. So this Saturday night it was on fire. Today it's still smoking. I went by it today. I didn't film it. But while I was filming it, there was 3 cop cars that came flying on this freeway going south. So this cop car took off. 3 cop cars were going south. So something was going on Saturday night around whatever time that was. We drove on East Lincoln and towards right on Market when we see that too. So here's the footage of that. Here's this footage. So like I said, I turned the corner. I saw the first thing. Like, whoa, there's no firefighters, you guys. I kid you not. There was no firefighters dealing with this at all. The whole thing's on fire. No firefighters. No airdrops, no firefighters, nothing except that truck. This was Saturday night, 11 o'clock at night. Just burning. There's the officer. See, one, another one behind. The one that was down on the street took off. So they're okay. I said 3. There was 2. I don't know where they were going, but when you see that type of thing happen, obviously there's something going on. You can hear them. That whole thing is on fire. No, you don't see any fire trucks. No fire trucks. No fire trucks going on. And so for that ended that night. I don't have no footage of that night except for that. So that ended that night. Next day was Sunday. did church, went to church. Walked out of the church, smoky as all get out. Couldn't even see 3 miles or two, maybe even two. It was just smoky. Um, and then that day is when I went down back to the same area. And started walking around. So I went, okay, yeah. So on Sunday, I went back. Thank you, PMB. On Sunday, I went back. Went back Sunday. Zoom out. So again, there's a Fairview. All this was a Fairview fire Saturday night and Saturday. Not okay. So Saturday night, I did down here, right? As I told you, Indian Trail, this area. I actually started when I got to there Saturday night. I actually started in this area right here. Okay, so and the reason why I started in this area because Saturday night they evacuated the VA. These roads were blocked off, as you can see, the little red marks are there. So going north and going west was blocked off. So what I did was I was like, all right, cool. I went up here, made a right, made another right, came down Gusta Vans, whatever, came back to Northwest Boulevard. And then I was like, all right, I want to go down this little street, Northwest Boulevard. And I did. Went down this, and it was blacked out. Everything again had lights off. So this was my actually first encounter with the whole neighborhood being blacked out. And I got to about right here on this curve, and I could see flames over here on the across the river, all in this area. Which now, right? That's where the flames were at. And look where this thing started at. Boom, boom. That's where it started at. And I was right here on this little curve on Northwest Boulevard. I was probably right about here. Right where it starts to straighten out. And I didn't post the footage because it was too hard to see. Because there was no clear view because it was all houses. So I was like, I saw the flames through like the houses at parts. It wasn't really good footage, but yes, you could definitely see this hillside on fire. Not like big flames, but pockets. I'll see if I have footage and post it. I'll still post it anyway. So that was Saturday night. So Sunday after church, I came back to the same area. I did this loop and I came down here to this street and Windsor and Hoffman Place. All right. And as I did that, I was able, there was houses. Now here's the thing, what they did with the EVACs 3, what they do is they go along and they knock on people's doors, kind of like what they did with Katrina. You need to leave, get out, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to, I don't want to leave. Well, they'll mark the door with people who have left. I think that's how they do it. They mark the door with people who have left where the house is cleared. And so several houses had all along the streets these flags on them. Do not cross, meaning people have left. Do not cross. People have left. Oh yes, SK. I know. I'm not faulting anybody who's been out there. I'm not faulting anybody who's been out there doing what they're doing to help whatsoever. I knew the resources. There's only so much you can do, right? When you have 3 fires that start simultaneously at the same day, unexpectedly, there's only so much you can do. So, the resources were very, very thin Saturday, very thin, and people are coming in. My email is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You'll see it. It's down in the ticker, but it's the BC Preacher. So yeah, I'm not knocking anybody. I already know about the resources. Know about the resources, SK. So these houses there, you have that. They're putting up the do not do not cross, right? Then, then what ended up happening was this here, and I'll show you exactly where it was. So this next footage, again, this is I'm just showing you guys just have something to talk about. So West Hoffman Place. I think I'm at this point. Um, I'm on Windsor, but I'm looking across the street. And I think it's these two homes, or these within these three. What I'm about ready to show you. It's these three homes. These three homes. And then right next to them, let's see which. Okay, so that vehicle's there. So let's see if it. There it is. That might be the van. Might be, but it's these right along here. It's within. Yeah, it's within this area. Within that area. I didn't even show you. I'm still on the video. My bad. So, and you see how they got so that somehow got spared, but that there's still damage. I mean, that's still going to be a lot of damage to a home, right? Looking back the other way, it was still smoking Sunday. So right behind there is, I think, a cemetery, you guys. I think there's a cemetery back here. I don't know which exactly. Actually, you know what? I don't know. What I was showing you, it's within this range, 5, 6 houses within that range. I can't tell exactly which one it was. I know some of the flags I showed you guys was up in these homes over here to the right. These ones were still standing. I think the one where I showed you with the vent, it was either this one here or this one. I think it was the one with the brown roof, with the vents going on. Um, I think that's what it was. Yep, the brown roof. There it is. Brown roof. So that is the brown roof is this one right there. So that's what was going on. So that's what I did Sunday after church, because I was there on Saturday night. It was blacked out, and actually Saturday night it was funny because you're not supposed to be in those areas. I don't think it's the evac 3 means get out. So Saturday night when I told you I saw the flames across the river, right? I told you guys that I saw the flames across the river, right? I made that corner, and I looked down the street and I saw a bunch of, obviously, firefighters and police cars and stuff. Well, now it makes sense why there was at this intersection, because there was fire coming up that way. Uh, Good stuff. So, did that Sunday. And then from there is when I did the live stream, and I came back up to I did the same route what I did Saturday night. I kind of remember what I did. Now, remember, I'm not familiar with this area whatsoever. I'm not familiar, so I'm just kind of remembering things that I did. I'm getting familiar now. So I came back up here because I remember this was blocked off on Indian Trail. And I got here, right? This is where I got to. Boom, Sunday. And I parked over here, and that's when I did the live stream. That's when I did the live stream. I wonder if I have that up anywhere. No, I don't think it was yet. I don't think it was yet. No, it wasn't. No. Let me see something else. Every time. That's what I already did. Okay. I have to go back to X. X. Okay. So this is where, yeah. Again, I'm showing you guys this because a lot of people have not seen the footage because I've only posted this on X and Facebook. So here is this day. So what I'm getting ready to show you is right here. Thank you, Quincy. Knew you weren't knocking. Some folks aren't aware of our other fires up here. That's true. Yeah, some people aren't. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's actually more than just these three going on, to be honest with you guys. But because this spread so fast and the everything that was involved in these three fires simultaneously on the same day is what's made it so big and how fast they spread. But yeah, there's other fires that have been going on. So Sunday, what I'm getting ready to show you now is man, it's hard. It's these homes. Yes. It's those four homes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely 4. It might even be this fifth one. Totally gone. The homes behind it up here where the swimming pool is at, because I remember seeing the slide. So where that swimming pool's at, that's gone. These are gone. These are gone. You'll see in just a minute, but all 4 of these are gone. This is where it was in front of this home right here is where I had the pleasure of speaking to Captain Rich from LA, speaking to him right along this curb line. There are 3 active right now. Yeah, there are 3 active fires right now, at least in the Spokane area. So that's where I spoke to him for about 45 minutes on my live stream. I suggest you guys go and listen to it. It's an amazing interview. It wasn't even an interview. It was just a conversation that kind of accidentally started. Very good though. About an hour into my live stream on Saturday. So here's the footage. Here is the footage of this. Thank you, Jewel. I'll check that out in a little bit and email you back. Thank you. I was sad about the truck. That's what I was sad about. That's the only thing I'm just joking. That's not the only thing I was sad about, but old school truck. And every place had water flowing from it too. Okay, so I must have been. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, let me stop for a second. Yes, they have "Don't tread on these flags." I like that. Okay, so I must have misspoke. Um, I misspoke a little bit because. Okay, okay, all right. Here we go. I see what I did. Yepers. Okay, so these houses, these two right there are the ones that were burnt. This survived, and this is the one that Rich was talking about. And then this one burnt down. I believe that's correct. I believe I have that correct. Yes. Right? Yes, because there's the telephone lines. Yes. This one survived. Here's the "Don't tread on me" one. This and this burnt, and you'll see. Okay, cool, got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So fire was going on. Here's Rich. These two houses, and then there's the telephone lines going up the hill. Look at that telephone. I mean, just everything. If anything, that was more of my concern was the telephone, the power lines. I know they had to cut off, but if you're out in those areas and there's active fire and those telephone lines are active and on, and the telephone poles are breaking, that's probably to me a little bit more concerning than running from some flames. Just to be honest with you. Yeah. So that was that. Okay, so then from there on Saturday, after that whole thing, I think I ended my day with that. To be honest, I don't think I went. Oh no, was it Saturday or Sunday? It was Sunday. My days are a little bit confused. So I did that. Okay, yes. So I did end my day with that. I did end my day with that. Did a little bit more. I did a little bit more here. This is where someone came up to me. They're not in the chat tonight, but I was out here doing this, and I'm not going to say that, but it was nothing bad. It's just I don't want to say too much of things that what goes through my mind at times when I'm out here. But I met somebody who watches, and they came up to me. Are you a DC preacher? Like, yeah. At this point, yeah. So see, it's still smoking. Telephone lines on the ground, all the way going up the hill, which comes from North Idaho. I could trace this whole thing and show you guys this whole power thing. This right there. I could trace this probably where it goes. All on the ground. So yeah, that. Then yeah, that. I'm gonna see the next one. This was still smoking. It was actually starting to catch fire more because of the fact that the wind was blowing. The wind is blowing. So it's actually catching fire more. Here is a Vista trying to stop a gas leak that the National Guard did warn me of. of a gas leak going on, and there was these two houses back here. So both of these, a home sweet home adult family is gone, and whatever's next to it. So both of these are gone. That's what Avista there was working on. These homes down here were fine. Right behind them, they were fine. I think. Yep, those homes were fine behind. Fine, but not fine. You know what I mean? All right, so that's that. So that was my day for Saturday. Um, that was my day for Saturday. So then, mm, so then let's see. Then I'm trying to track my own stuff here. So then what happened Sunday? This is where I had to maneuver a little bit, a little maneuvering. Sunday, um, went back out after church, and I went into um, kind of where I went, Sutherland area, which is right right here. So I went back to the Indian Trail. I was like, oh, let me go check some stuff out. So I came down to Sutherland, came right here. So these two houses, gray roof, red roof, right? Gray roof and red roof. Right. So let's see real quick. White roof, red roof, gray roof. Because again, this whole thing, right? Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out so we can track this thing. It came north, right? More north than east. See, Old Trails Fire came across this whole field, right? Came across this whole field. Right there it is. There's those three houses, right there. Kind of curves a little bit, right? Kind of curves a little bit. It hits these homes. None of these homes, I don't think any of these homes along here got hit. Somehow these two homes got hit, and then the homes across the street going up the hill. Crazy how this stuff works. It's very intriguing. So those homes right here. All right. Boom, boom. Here we go. And again, I'm out here filming people's homes. People have lost stuff. You got to be careful. You got to be sensitive, right? Because people are also seeing their stuff for the first time. Again, being Salvation Armies, talking to homeowners, and see they're aware, they're looking. So just got to be mindful. Got to be mindful. So that was Sunday, when in the area I just showed you. And then, and then, I met up with brother Eric. Was that the third or what, was it Monday? I got it must have been Sunday. What's the date today? The 4th. Or maybe I posted it late. Okay. So it was Sunday. So Sunday. Brother Eric, who's a lot of times in the chat, not in tonight, he hooked up with me and let's go to Google Maps. So he hooked up with me and we met down the street on Indiana Trail. He followed me right. He was over here, so we met over here. Followed me, went down Francis because we were already in the zone. We already passed the block because they had the road blocked. Where at? They had the road blocked up here, way up here. So we were already in the zone, and so all these other kind of like side streets were okay, somewhat. Came down here, and at this point they had a big blockade, and we pulled over and parked. Got out the truck, got out the car, and had go back. Had that amazing interaction with the police officer. It was longer than I filmed, but it was still good. Almost 500,000 views at this point. And
arrest you, take you into custody.
Here's this.
Choosing to go past.
Because again, this whole road was blocked behind him, no cars. So he's telling us
to go past my barricade.
Actually, this was not on this. Excuse me. This was not on Sunday. See, I've been working so much. My days are starting to get froggy. Here's Sunday. So what I had to do Sunday was I was with another buddy. No, I was actually with Eric. What we did, we got out, we parked, and because the road was blocked, we walked. We walked down this hill, and it is a hill. We walked down West 9 Mile Road, went past Nom Nom because this is all blocked, only emergency vehicles, made a left into West Lyons, walking. A couple of houses were burnt here on the corner ish, only 2. Kept walking. Wait, no, it was yeah. Is that right? Something like that. Wait, was it that one? West Lyons? Yes, it was. Yeah. A couple houses were burnt. A couple back there weren't burnt. Kept walking. No, it wasn't West Lyons. Oh my goodness, where was it? Hold on, just a moment. No, it was West Lyons. Okay, yes, it was. Okay. Came walking down West Lyons. A couple houses burnt. Got to here on West Lyons. This whole block was burnt. Elizabeth, Catherine is burnt all the way to about where the pools are at, and then it's not burnt. All these homes in this whole area is burnt. All these along here on the curve of West Lyons is burnt, and all these on this side. So, I mean, you can count the homes there if you guys want. Like I said, it's probably about 50 or 60 homes in this area that are burnt, and that's what I'm ready to show you. Let me show you that. Boom, boom. and go. So right here, what you're looking at right now, right there, is this home right here on the corner. These two right here. These two homes you're looking at, 1 and 2, with this footage starting off. Right there. So the reason why that was, and there's a street sign that kind of shows where I'm at. So you guys can, so right there, here, I'll show you. Might as well show you. Google Maps. Right here. I'm looking right at this corner. You can see the street sign kind of like in the shadow on the ground. So right here on this north west corner, that's where the sign is at. That's how you count the houses by the fireplaces. Somewhat. And all those houses down there are fine. Crazy. Now it's going back, looking at the curve. This is at a dead end. So where this is at is at that point, I walked down the street. That's right here. Right here. Panning to the right. Everything is still smoking. It's Sunday afternoon. Panning to the right still. Going along the curve, looking back up. Now I'm looking back up the street. So at that point, I'm looking back up Houston, on the north side of Houston. North side of Houston, and then kind of pan over, you'll see the fire truck on the south side of Houston. Now I'm walking back up, leaving the area over here on Holyoke. So I'm walking west, just kind of filming, documenting both sides of the street. Holyoke, walking, there you go, walking east, filming both sides of the street. It's a boat. It's a boat, you guys. So that was that, I think, for Sunday. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that was it for Sunday, I believe. And then yeah. Was that it for Sunday? Yeah. That was it for Sunday. And then yesterday there was some stuff that came out in regards, obviously, to the data center and thoughts about what's going on with the fires and, just conspiracies, which could be true. Don't know if they are, but could be. And then I was with another buddy because I wanted to go back down again. I'm trying to go down every day to try to get more stuff and stay invested with this and informative, like what I'm trying to do, let people know. I know it's just a lot of videos and stuff, but it does help. I know it's sad to see, but it does help. And so at that same intersection, right? At the same intersection on Monday, yesterday, so zooming out again, we did all this walking. I don't know how far that was. So into this neighborhood, right? Out of this neighborhood, walked back up this hill. Okay, so Sunday or yesterday, excuse me, parked, and they had a officer in National Guard here because they only allowed the emergency personnel to go in and out here and also here. So here, over on this they have like major law enforcement, and then here they have some too. And there was this officer standing, and it was great. And some people were walked up, and they're like, "Well, we need to get down there, homes and X, Y, Z." And he stopped or he was talking to them, and I was like, "Okay, well, let me just start filming."
Choosing to go past my barricade to my vehicle after a lawful order, you are legally committing the crime of fail to obey officer. That being said, I am not physically going to arrest you, take you into custody, do any of those things. I'm just advising you of the legal position you are going into. Right? If you choose to go into a level 3 evacuation zone, you are exposing yourself to a substantial risk of death or great bodily harm due to the active fires, the risk of potential downed electrical wires, standing water that may be electrified, natural gas leaking pipelines, etc., structural collapse, the collapse of trees, as well as any other dangers associated with that, or human danger associated with a lower level of emergency services in that area. If you go in, we cannot guarantee your safety. We may not be able to get you out. If that makes sense. Okay. Again, as I have said, it is a criminal violation to fail to obey my lawful orders to not go past. But there will be no criminal penalties, like you're not going to get arrested or go to jail or any of those sorts of things. If you are choosing to go into the zone to protect property, you are choosing to put your lives and the lives of first responders at risk for that property, which in my opinion is wrong. But I will not physically stop you. I'm not the morality police, right? Does that make sense? There's not a point in this conversation where I will say, hey, now go commit a crime. So if you guys are going to walk off and choose to do that, you can do that whenever you choose to. Again, I have given you a lawful order not to go into the zone, and that is your own decision if you choose to make it. If you do that, you cannot guarantee your safety. Make sense?
All right, so that's what he was saying. Longer spiel off the record. I mean, he didn't know I was filming this until I told him. And I did tell him that, hey, I'm going to post it. He's like, fine. But we had other conversations, like I said, off the record that I'm not going to go into. But at that point, after speaking to him more and thorough and in depth, it was very good, very cool dude, very cool dude. After speaking to him more in depth, I did make a decision Um, I did make an executive decision to proceed, um, and go down, uh, into the area. And, again, this footage is on X. And so here, this is where is this at? I have a lot that I still haven't posted from yesterday as well. So this here is this here is right right here. Boom boom. This footage here is right here. Garage is completely gone. Cars were in the garages. These two apartment complexes were gone. And again, remember Saturday, right? The fire started from north over here. Look, right where this red dot road closure is at is where I was at. Look, old trails fire. Look which way it goes. Boom, boom. Across this field, kind of juggles and kind of curves a little bit. Hit some of these things in the Balboa neighborhood, right? Indiana Trail. Here's the homes, right? The care facilities right there. These two, right? Zooming back out. Hits those homes across the street. Zooming back out. Right, and there at Balboa, you can see Balboa down here. There's that cul-de-sac that hit those homes, right? So I'm going to scoot it a little bit. You can still see Balboa. I'm going to zoom back in, and right where the red dot is at, the danger, right? So there's those houses there, apartment complex that I'm talking about. And there it is. That there is actually a structure that's in between the two buildings, and I'll show you. There's a doorway. That's actually a doorway. Those two pillars is a doorway, and the building is on. Yeah. There it is. I put that with the video so people can see a little bit more of what was actually. So there's that. So what I mean by that is, I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can do something to show y'all. Here we go. Claps. Look at this. So cool. Going the wrong way. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's make a right. How about we make a right and go up here? Look at that. Would you look at that? Look at those nice garages there. Look at those nice garages before there was a bad fire. Bad fire. Right? Now, if we go a little bit further, Let's take a look. Can we zoom in? I don't know. Can we zoom in? We can zoom in. Look at those two pillars. Look at those two pillars standing there. Right there. Look at what's to the side of the pillars. Oh man, that's the only thing standing. You guys want to see the video again? This is the type of research I do, you guys. Now that's sad, isn't it? Look at that. That's sad, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. That is crazy. The only thing standing is those two pillars in that wall. Joseph, I know this is from this isn't from Autumn. This is actually from the old trails. Because old trails went north. Autumn didn't make it this far south yet. And even by looking at the smoke map, you can tell that Autumn didn't make it this far. So yeah, there's that. And then again, this was all Monday. Monday. And then I think one of the last things I got from Monday. Yeah, here's the oh boy coming across, right? Here it is, the trail, and I'll show you. So the red dye, the red stuff, the red stuff came across this whole field. And I don't know where it started. And like I said, I wasn't able to make it into this neighborhood here, Pacific Park Drive. I haven't been able to make it into there or any of this area where the Safeway is at, Sundance, anywhere. I haven't been able to make it there yet. But it came across this field and the highway, and it hit the roof. It hit some of these roofs over in here. So where's that? Boom. That was a cop that was talking to me. Fire retardant. Across the road. Onto the houses. Yeah. Onto the houses. So I don't think I really have much more yet. I mean, I have more, but I haven't been able to post it all yet. Oh, earlier I was telling you guys when I started the show about the homeowners and that it can be devastating, and you gotta be careful. So, like I said, the stuff came across the road. I think it was actually more back here To be honest with you, it was. So it came, yes, right there. Why is this on my screen? I don't want that right now. Anyway, oh goodness gracious. Okay, so it came down more along here, and it went into the. It went into this more neighborhood here, right here. The fire retardant. It went more into this neighborhood. So I came up here, made a right, went into this neighborhood, and all this whole neighborhood um in here is pretty much a wrap. All these homes, this green, all these homes along here is a wrap. All this area is burnt down, including Riverside Life Church is burnt down. So I came in, all these homes here burnt down. I turned into this cul-de-sac. This home is the only home standing. And while I was there, these people right here on the corner were there, and it was the children, mom and dad. Um, and she, obviously got choked up talking to me. Good night. Good night. Is it Jewel Pack? Good night. I'm heading to bed soon. We keep praying for Spokane and for those who lost their homes. Amen. Yes, we will. In the name of Jesus, pray for healing and protection for these people. Hopefully that, it's things like this, rough situations where people are, hopefully it draws people to the Lord. I really do. I hope if people don't know the Lord, I hope it can be used to draw them closer to him. Okay, Julio. Cool. Nice to meet you, brother. God bless you. And you have a good night. I'll check the email in a while. So here's this, you guys. I think this is the one. Okay, so what I'm showing you right now is these three along this curve. These three homes. One, oh, you can't see it. One here on the corner, two, I think it's those two homes I'm showing you, right? Then I flip it, and you'll see in just a moment this cul-de-sac area. How in the world? There's the kids. How in the world? Don't ask me. That's why God is God and we are people. That's one reason right there. We can say all the science we want, figured things out, but on my way out of there, there's other footage in this. I'll probably leave it with this for the night. But for someone to do this, a lot of times, most of the time, right? We relate God to good. Oh, why would God allow the bad things to happen? why does God allow bad things to happen? And if there was a God, and if he's so loving, why does he allow things like this to happen? And why does he allow people to get hurt? And why does he allow people to die if he's so loving and XYZ? That isn't what makes God good. You having what you want isn't what makes God good, because you got to keep in mind, God is a just God. He's a just God. He's a righteous God. He's a wrathful God, because we don't like to talk about those things that we don't like, that don't feel good to us. He's a wrathful God. He's a judgmental God. He's a jealous God. All sorts of things, right? Combines all the characteristics and attributes of who God is. And and a lot of times, because we're human, it's our human nature, we can only see things in our boxes. It's hard to see, like, well, maybe this happened because God's trying to do something else over here, or this happened so that it could affect somebody else so that they could be blessed. Or it's hard to always go outside of our world to see how the chess pieces move and end up aligning, even if it's 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, with somebody else, and then it comes back to affect you or impact you. We never think like that. So in these moments like this, like I'm saying, it's like, oh wow, this sucks. You feel the emotions, you feel the pain, you feel the hurt, you feel the struggle, especially pressures of life, what to do. And people have sentimental things, they have memories, they have values of life. Like I said, memories, things that are holding on from generations and generations. Pictures, obviously, everybody always talks about pictures, family pictures. So, although God is a wrathful God, or let me say this, although God is a loving God, because everybody wants to hear that, God is also a wrathful God, and he will bring wrath to his own creation, his own world, right? The world will pass away, and those of us who are born again in him will live on forever. And those who don't, he has a place for them as well, because, right, he don't make anybody do anything that they don't want to do their own selves. He's not going to make somebody love him. You don't want to love me? Okay, cool. It's your free will. It's your choice, your option. I have a place for you, because if you didn't love me while I gave you mercy and grace, then why are you going to love me now? Why do you want me now if you didn't want me then? That's just, right? That's kind of like common sense. So in this whole thing, that's why I said I hope that this type of thing draws people to him, and it should. It should. But sometimes, a lot of times, it makes people be angry at God, because, I mean, as of right now, we don't know of life that was accounted for, right? It sounds like nobody has passed away from the fires, that people got away, but in case they did, and this isn't the only thing. Like, people lose family members or loved ones all the time in different situations, and they end up being bitter and angry at God, or it's God's fault, or why God me, or it was too soon. They didn't live a long enough life according to what we believe, or according to what's right. And a lot of times it can taint people's view. But you got to remember, again, that's not the things that make God good. What makes God good is what he did. When he came here and manifested himself as one of us, as the human beings, to be a living sacrifice for us because of the failures and because of our human nature that is always displeasing to him, right? It's all, our human side is always and forever will be not good. Yeah, and here's the thing. We can say, "Oh, that person is good, this person good." No. Our human side Our human nature is not good. That's why scripture says there's not one good. No, not one. Our human nature is not good. By default, our human nature sucks. Yeah, there might be good things that we do, but that doesn't make us good people. So he comes to bring this gift, if we so choose to accept it, and says, okay, I can make you good. I can make you clean. I can make you righteous through me because you human beings can't do it. I have to do it. And because you are my creation, you are in my image. Now you have the option and the choice, if you want it, to be in my likeness. You can be like me. You can be in my likeness. I can give you the power. I can give you what you need in order to get through this life of debauchery, wickedness, evilness, rebellion, pride, XYZ. Right. And then we have this type of stuff that happens to us, these tragedies. And again, like I'm saying, then people go, okay, God's not good. But God already proved that he is good. And so, with that said, my encouragement for you guys who are out there dealing with this type of stuff or even seeing this type of stuff is to pray for these people. Because not everybody, it's easy to say, let's pray for these people because of tragedy. That's easy to say. It's like the golden rule type of thing. But what are you praying for them about? Exactly. What's the prayers for them? And I'm not being callous. I'm being genuine, sincere. What's the prayer for them? How are you, or how are you going to pray to God for these people who have lost a home? It's something material, right? And there's other things involved. How are you going to pray for them? Because the number one prayer for anybody should be, obviously, is the first for them to come to know who the Lord is, that repentance, for them to be born again, and then for God's hand to be upon them. And always is for them to be drawn to the Lord, first and foremost. And then it's the healing that God can do, because God can use this whole situation. Like I was saying earlier, you don't know how these type of things can impact people. This whole situation can be used for his glory if we can see things that are matched up. So, with that said, because here's the thing also, there's people who are helping, the Good Samaritans, the people who are good people that may not be saved, they may not be born again. They're good people. They're doing the good deeds. They're doing kind things, right? And we don't discredit that, because that also is a way that God can use certain things to draw people toward him. But you got to keep in mind that no matter when these type of things happen, God is always God. God is always good. And you have to think about what makes him good. It's not him giving you a home. It's not you having a nice home. It's not you having money. It's not you having cars. Not even a job. Can those things be good things? Yeah, because they're beneficial, right? They help us. But that's more of his grace and his blessings and his mercy upon us in our frailties. So I hope you guys have a good night. And I'll probably be on tomorrow. Maybe not on, but on. The case is still going on for Lindsay Clancy. I don't know how many days that's going to go on, but I'll probably stream it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be on while it's streaming. I'm going to try to get back down here. So I hope you guys have a good night. And like I said, pray for these people, because a lot of people are hurting, obviously. And when you have hurt like this, the only thing that can really redeem you and comfort you, for one, is the Lord. But the Lord uses people. The Lord uses each and every single one of us. Human beings help human beings because that's kind of how he designed it. A lot of people want to be by themselves and lonely and think, oh, they can handle things by themselves. This is a stab at women, but not a stab. Oh, I don't need nobody. Yeah, we all need people. Okay. That's how the Lord designed it. Can't do things on your own. We need people. People heal. People bring all sorts of things. It's usually gifts from the Lord too. So don't reject it. Don't deny it. Be there for one another. Help people. And like I said, God is always good. So just pray for these people who are going through a lot of hurt and pain. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll try to find some places that are collecting donations or whatever, and we'll figure something out. So I love y'all, and y'all have a good night. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate Julio, and I'll be looking forward to his email. All right. God bless.
Yeah. On American streets. Yeah.
On American streets.
Yeah. Yeah. On American streets. On American streets.
Truth in the light, get a whole world see. Faith front deep, where braves stand free. From quiet prayer to the place we meet. Quincy Franklin, bring truth on American streets. BCP preachers still spinning them beats. From BJJ's now preaching in the streets. Fight for God and the freedom we keep. Still stand strong on American streets. Truth, truth, let the truth ring out. Faith, that's what we about. See both sides, but we stand on truth. Call this nation back to its roots.
At its father's knee, where the roots run deep.
Freedom riders stood tall in the heat.
Now the same fire in his heartbeat.
Carry that truth on American streets. In DC down to the Texas heat. Minnesota cold, the Oregon trees. Live in the streets where the people meet. Roll nationwide on American streets. Truth, truth, let the truth ring out. Faith, faith, that's what we about. See both sides, but we stand on truth. Call this nation back to its roots. On American streets. On American streets. Thankful for family standing beside. Mods and supporters along for the ride. Sponsors and friends who keep it alive. Truth in the word is how we survive. Then Peter said unto them, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ, for the remission of sins, and ye shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost.